Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, uh, the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife. It looks kind of okay. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 13. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So it starts out summer on the Coney Island, it looks like. And a storm rolls in and it freezes the whole city in the middle of July. And the Ghostbusters have to do something. See, it's like frozen spikes shoot out of the water and eventually shoot out of the ground and freeze the Ferris wheel, and horrible things happen in New York. But don't worry, the Ghostbusters are here, and a bunch of people have died. It's a little dark, right? But for the Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, that would have been okay. For the new Ghostbusters, I don't know. Like, it seems a little harsh, and then at the same time, this seems like a kid's movie. It doesn't seem like it's going for the comedy jugular. Not really. Dan Aykroyd's in it, and Bill Murray's in it, and Ernie Hudson's in it, and that's good. I like that. But, I mean, it's definitely Ghostbusters Next Generation. But Patton Oswalt's in it. Why Patton Oswalt? And he acts like a fanboy in this, his character. I don't like it. So here's someone who gets frozen, I guess. I don't know who she is. I don't know the significance of that. Other than she's some rando, but lots of people get killed in this. This is the problem with Hollywood. And Finn's back. So that's kind of a bright spot, I guess. And then they're going to... The idea is your blood runs so cold you die of fright, but it's also cold. Paul Rudd is back. I guess that's the mom, right? Of the daughter of Egon. This is the family of Egon. Finn, the girl, and the mom was the wife there. And then Paul Rudd. I didn't see the movie. I didn't see the first one. It looked okay. I saw the scene. I saw the scene I wanted to see. It just doesn't look funny. You know? It looks okay. I mean, it's got Ghostbuster stuff in it. You know? It's got evil creatures and frozen people. I guess that's his girlfriend? Was she from the previous movie, I guess? I don't know, man. I mean, it's a very typical... On the upshot, it is a very typical Hollywood pitch. Oh, it's the middle of July and everything freezes and everybody dies. Like, it's like a big Hollywood thing. So I like that. I like that. Coming out in the spring. I like the old Ghostbusters in it. I don't know who he is. Guess he's from the previous movie. Here Paul Rudd and the kids are... See, part of the problem is that they're kids. I think they needed another movie where they're not kids, you know? When they're still in high school, maybe. But before they went back to New York, I just doesn't seem all that realistic. Just seems like an excuse to market a bunch of winter coats starting in the spring. So by the time winter rolls around, ooh, I gotta get a Ghostbusters jacket. It seems kind of cynical that way. I don't know why he's in it. That's what's the name? Kumanji. I can't say his name. The Indian guy who got super in shape and was in the Eternals. Part of the problem is Finn's the only one with a real good look here, I think. A strong look. You know? He looks like a kid. He looks like an older teenager. I kind of know where he fits in. The rest of the characters, other than the original cast, they're just kind of old guys wandering around. Like, the girl on the right, You're going to throw in the girlfriend. I guess these are his friends. Not really buying it. It's like too many characters. I'm like, in the old movie, what would they have? Well, they'd have some stuffy French guy who ran the restaurant that they wrecked. Uh, Librarians and scientists, and you had Peck. These were great supporting characters. These characters all kind of blend together for me. They're not super distinctive. Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson and Bill Murray are, kind of. But it's not going to be about them. They're going to be the side characters. Why is, what's-his-face in this? I don't know, man. I assume they don't get... And Patton Oswalt. Like, too much. Why is he in this? I mean... Look, comedians, if you're going to make the transition into serious acting, you can't make the transition back. Patton already sort of did that with Justified. He became kind of a serious actor, character actor, kind of. And he was in a couple other things. And good for him. If you're not going to keep doing your funny shtick, and you're going to transition into an actor, then you can't transition back to the same character you were playing essentially on Reno 9/11 when he was playing the geek character in the Renaissance Fair that gets arrested. Doesn't work for me. It's like, oh, the serious actor thing didn't work out. I guess I better go back to my old thing. Like, we needed something new here from him, especially. He needed to kick it up to 1,000. This is a comedy film. This is Ghostbusters. This isn't the minor leagues. Same thing with, I can't think of his name. Kumanji? I don't remember his name. He's a comedian too, allegedly, but he got all serious and woke during the Eternals. I don't think he's funny at all now. I mean, Patton at least had a shot at it, but you got to come correct, man. You got to come with a character that's like awesome, amazing, that has a real distinctive look. I mean, Aykroyd, Hudson, and Murray got more weight than you, and they're not. I guarantee you, they're not in the movie that much. They're getting up there too. Bill Murray's definitely starting to show his age. Like, how can he be Venkman? He looks tired even in this still. Venkman can't be tired. Venkman's got to have a scheme. So, and then this is the demon, I guess. Do they kill off his girlfriend? I doubt it. I doubt it. That would be too dark. But, like, killing people in a Ghostbusters movie, you can get away with it if they're kind of like nobodies that nobody sees. Like extras who get blown up and we never really see it. But, you know, they say specifically in the trailer, people freeze to death in the middle of July. That raises the stakes, while at the same time you got a bunch of kid characters running around. You know? And then, you know, in the first one, it just worked. It's just a classic. The second one, it mostly works. Kind of. And, but there's some personal stuff in it because Vigo kidnaps the baby. That's in the second one. There just seems to be like so many characters in it. I don't care about any of them. First off, I do. I shouldn't say that. I care about the old Ghostbusters. I want to see those guys. I don't want to see any of these other guys. You're going to put them up against them, okay. But then don't put too many more guys. Patton Oswalt should not be in this movie. I can't think of the Indian guy's name. Kick him out too. Reduce it to just the bare bones. Just the old Ghostbusters and the new Ghostbusters. Other side characters, they got to be foils. They got to be obstacles like Peck. Like the guy who ran the restaurant. Like the judge. Like the mayor. All those kind of characters. You're introducing me Patton Oswalt. I don't care about him. This isn't a Patton Oswalt movie. Was he in the first one? I don't remember him in that one, but I didn't see the movie. I just saw clips. So, The big emotional thing in the first movie, I think, was Harold Ramis, the image of Harold Ramis coming back for one last battle. What are you going to do here? They don't live in New York. They moved back to New York. Why New York? Why not another town? Oh, right, because the original Ghostbusters was in New York. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks cool, but that's not saying much these days. They can make anything look cool with CGI these days. And enough money. And that's the thing. They're going to throw a ton of money at this movie. A ton. And, it's almost like too big to fail kind of movie for Hollywood. I want to like it. I really do. I really want to like this trailer, but I kind of have about the same reaction I had to the first one. It looks fine. It looks okay. Give it a chance. But in the first movie, I wrote Hollywoke, another novel, and there's a bit in it where I parody various movies being produced, and one of them is supposed to be, I had to change all the names, but one of them's supposed to be like a Ghostbusters type movie with a Bill Murray type movie. And in the novel, the woke studio executives are ruining all the IPs, but they attempt to save the one that's supposed to be like Ghostbusters and Bill Murray. And what they end up with is a sort of middling movie. It's not embarrassing, but it's not particularly funny. It's kind of okay, but it's not much of a send-off for a great franchise. Ghostbusters needs to be the funniest damn movie you ever see. It doesn't matter about the ghost and the effects and all that stuff. It needed to be funny. Really funny. Not woke, not inclusive, not for kids. It just needed to be funny. You can't make funny movies. You can't do comedy if you're going to ignore the truth. Here we are in New York. Crime is through the roof in New York. People are abandoning the city in droves. Is that going to be in the movie? I would bet money it won't be in the movie. It should be. It should be in the movie. Big time. In fact, I think they probably would have been better off moving this to a different city, or just moving it anywhere else. Anywhere else. No, I think it's too early to go back to New York. I think that should have been the third movie. They go back to New York. They go back to the firehouse. Where could they have gone for a second movie? Anywhere there's ghosts and creepy things, and that's all over the United States. They could have done a thing about Bigfoot, the Wendigo. There's so many stories across the United States. Ghosts and monsters. And if you're going to make one up, it doesn't matter where you go, right? So you started with the reboot in the Southwest. And again, kudos to you for doing a sequel. But it's got to be bigger than the original. And this is like it's soft comedy. It's okay. I'm sure there'll be mildly amusing moments in it. But I laughed my A off. The original Ghostbusters. I would love to do that again. I would love to go you got to go see this movie. It's so funny as the original one is. Now you could say, well, you can't capture the original. That's true. But you can do comedy. It's like nobody wants to do it. They're still too afraid, and you're pulling your punches. But again, in an important quote-unquote project like this, in a project where the studio is like, we need this money, we need this to be the biggest hit, you're going to have too many cooks spoiling the stew. What you need is the funniest guys in Hollywood writing this thing. Who's that these days? Chris Rock's doing an MLK movie. Kevin Hart's doing a heist movie. What else? You got the original cast. You know, Harold Ramis is gone, sadly. Who's left? Who's left in Hollywood to do any comedy? Ryan Long. I bet he would write a funny damn movie, him and his boys. Oh my God. Ryan would knock it out of the park with the comedy bits. But they'd be kind of raunchy, wouldn't be for kids, and you might ruffle some feathers in Hollywood. In fact, I guarantee you would. That's why you should hire him. Will they? Nah. It's too much money. Too much money. You got to be too big for this. You have to be a major star. And the major stars in Hollywood, the Rolodex is very limited. It's Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson. As if names still mean anything. Although Bill Murray's does, I think. So, who do they get? Patton Oswalt is a name. He's a comedian. The Indian guy, I can't think of his name. Kumail? No. Something like that. At least, like, someone who was funny. I mean, Sarah Silverman. I know. Don't yell at me in the comments. I'm just saying, from a Hollywood perspective, she was a stand-up comic. She's a New Yorker. Sarah was incredibly vulgar and funny at one point, by the way. Put her in it. Put her in as the secretary in the Annie Potts role. That would be amazing. But, all right. So, and admittedly, my bar is sky high for this movie and this franchise. I just, and Paul Rudd's a good choice, but he's kind of not the main guy. He's like one of 1,000 in this. Maybe if he was the main guy, maybe you throw in, I don't know, Steve Carell, another guy who went serious and now is he funny? I don't even know. Will Ferrell, bring him back. Will Ferrell, here's your lineup. Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, and Kevin Hart. I mean, you could say, oh, that's kind of like a reboot. No, it could all be relatives or whatever. But it's not going to happen. They're going down this route. So I guess it'll be for kids. Kind of. I don't know. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. Go ahead, yell at me in the comments. I don't care. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. If you think you're pissed off at me now, come over to Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. Oh boy, then you get pissed at me. All right, we'll see you in the next one.